All right, Lally Ho controller users, I got you. I got you. I should have had you guys like 2 3 weeks ago, but I've been so busy. So much overtime at work. I work at Amazon, and we just got done with Prime Week. So yeah, I was working like basically all of that week. It was fun. It was great. That was when Eden Normal came out. I was so tired. It was fun. But yeah, I've been working just so much overtime these past couple of months altogether, which is it's been a very interesting expansion launch because I've just been so tired. Not a whole lot of energy, which doesn't translate very well into recording or streaming, so that's why there hasn't been a whole lot of that lately. But overtime is finally ending. Uh, Fingers crossed that it stays that way for quite a while, and I can finally have more time and energy to do those things. So, first video up on the to-do list is this one, the controller hotbars, because a surprising amount of people really want to see these. So yeah, okay, sure, that's fine. You guys want to see hotbars? That's cool. We're only going to be checking out hotbars on these 17 jobs. Yes, there's only 17. Blue Mage doesn't count. Square Enix forgot about Blue Mage even, so just like we can forget about Blue Mage too. Um, I know a lot of people want to see crafters and gatherer hotbars. Honestly, I want to see those too because I have not gathered or crafted at all this expansion really, so I have not updated those, and that is something I need to get into. But we're only going to be checking out these 17 jobs. I have gone through and kind of worked out where I want things placed. Some things are definitely more solid than others. A lot of the jobs I've been playing, I've kind of solidified where I like the placements of things. Other jobs I haven't really dabbled with much, kind of more subject to change, but they are, I have them placed, and it intuitively seems like I'd like where they're placed, so we'll kind of see when we get there. If you'd like to skip to a certain job, I'll make timestamps in the description and comments section. Because this first part is going to be going over kind of some more basic controller hotbar things in case you haven't watched a video like this before that I've done in previous expansions, because I get a lot of questions about my hotbar setup and I just kind of want to get those done and out of the way. So that's what we're going to be tackling first, and then we'll head into the jobs. Again, check the job description, check the description or the comment section if you want to jump to a certain job. But let's first talk about my hotbar settings in general, because there's quite a things to kind of discuss. So the first thing I guess I should really talk about is probably the fact that yes, I'm on controller, and I only use the controller. I never touch the mouse or keyboard. Well, that's a lie. I touch the mouse whenever I want to click on this or this, which is clear log, which will clear my log. You can't see my log, so it doesn't even, you wouldn't be able to see if I do this, but I only really use my mouse to click on these two things. Essentially everything else here I use the controller or is just there for reference. So yeah, don't ever use the mouse, don't ever use my keyboard. That's just kind of throwing that out there. I'm using only my controller. So yeah, so as I said, this horizontal hotbar you'll see on just about everything is only here for reference. I don't click any keys. I don't use my mouse to click anything. It's only here for reference to see cooldown timers, or maybe like high priority skills or abilities or something that I just want extra visibility on. Like for instance right here, Saber Dance. I want extra visibility on this so I can see it. It's procced right here. It's up here, and I can also see that when my gauge hits 50, it'll also light up as well. So that's kind of what this hotbar is for as well. And it's worth noting that you can have this on PS4 as well. I've played on PS4 for a long time, and I had this hotbar there the entire time that I played on PS4. It's very simple. All you have to do in order to do this is go into your HUD settings, or HUD layout rather. Find the horizontal hotbar you want to use. In my case, I believe it's hotbar 3, and then just click hide or display it. If you want to use it, obviously make sure it's displayed. If it's hidden, it will have like a little purple text, I guess, and then display it. I'm not going to save because I want to keep it placed. And then if you'd like to keep it so that it is specific for each job, and I'm getting a little more acquainted with this, you have to go into your shared settings and then this is where you'll click whether or not hotbars are shared or not shared. If you want it shared, then you want to make sure that it is clicked. For instance, these hotbars right here. What hotbar is this? Hotbar 7 and 8. These are shared hotbars, meaning that no matter what job I'm on, they'll always be exactly the same. But and yeah, you can see there 7 and 8 clicked as shared hotbars. If I were to unclick this, then I'd have to set it up for individually for each and every job and class, and that would just be a pain because these are just basic reference things or basic things that I would want to use on any job or any class essentially. But hotbar 5, obviously, hotbar 3, obviously, I don't want that to be shared because I want that specific for each and every job, so don't have that clicked. So yeah, that's how that's set up. It's really simple, really easy. It's not something you need to be on PC to do. You can do it if you're on PC or PS4. Back in the day, back when PS3 was still playing, was still kicking around, you couldn't do this on PS3, but we haven't had to worry about that for quite some time. So yeah, no matter what platform you're playing on, PS4 or PC, that's totally an option that is available to you. And that's how I use it. I use it strictly for reference and nothing else. Now when it comes to the cross hotbar, my general use of it is that I have 4 cross hotbars that I have for each job, and then I have a bunch of shared hotbars that's kind of more generalized. These are my shared hotbars here. This is very simple stuff, you know, got some minions, got some chocobo stances, beckon for whenever I do beckon leaves, which haven't had to do for a long time, so I don't even know why it's there. Also, you can use it to get certain minions on your shoulder as well. Squadron battle manuals, you know, summon chocobo, and then party finder, shared fate menu, challenge log, stuff like that. So just very basic stuff that's useful to access on any job. Emotes, markers, and then this is blank because I don't have anything I want to put there. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, and 4 are basically what I use for each job. 1 and 2 are basically my main hotbars. This is where I'll keep most of my skills and abilities and spells, and these are what I will cycle to, and I have it set in my settings. Cross hotbar, I have it set in my settings so that I can just switch to it by pressing what's this, right bumper or R1, I guess, since I'm using a DualShock 4 controller. So very simply, I can just press this over and over again. It only switches between these two. In this case, on Dancer in particular, where there isn't a whole lot of buttons to press, there's only one difference between Devilment and my Interrupt. But on other jobs, you'll notice that there's a much bigger difference depending on how many more buttons there are on a job. Generally speaking, I have most of the stuff that I need on my first hotbar. My second hotbar is usually where I keep sometimes AoE. Rotation is sometimes on this second hotbar. Also keep defensive cooldowns and stuff on this for tanks. Also for DPS, have things like Bloodbath or maybe Faint on this hotbar. So you'll kind of see that as we kind of go along, I guess. Another thing to kind of make note of is that there's 2 ways you can really get some more bang out of your buck for your cross hotbar. And I prefer to use the expanded controls, although you can also use the double cross hotbar, or you can even opt to use both if you want to use both, although I think that's a little overkill, but you can if you want to. And with the expanded controls, these simply, depending on the sequence in which you press your triggers, will bring up a different menu altogether. So I have it so that my expanded hotbar is actually hotbar 4, and you'll notice that both the left and the right side are exactly the same because I feel like I only ever need 8 buttons for this. And if you feel like you want all 16 buttons, you can set it up so that whether or not you press left or right first and then press the other one, it'll bring up the different menus. So for instance, for let's see, for demonstration purposes, we'll put a 1 here and we'll put a 2 here. So if I were to press left first and then or if I were to press left first and then right, it brings up 1, which is the left side. If I were to press right and then left, it brings up 2, which is the right side. So you can have that changed so that it is like that, but personally I don't ever feel like I need more than 8 buttons on this cross hotbar. And plus, when you're in the heat of moment, you might accidentally you know, press the wrong sequence and then you get the wrong set of buttons and you press something you didn't mean to. So yeah, I don't know, I just not a huge fan of that. Now the other kind of cross hotbar thing you can use is the double cross hotbar, and it's very similar to the expanded controls. It's simply double tapping left or right trigger essentially, or L2 or R2, since I am again on a DualShock 4 controller. I personally don't use this because I don't need it. I already have enough space, and I'm already used to using expanded controls because I've been using that since that this feature was released. I don't even know if, I think this was just in the game from the start. I don't actually remember. But for as long as I can remember, I've been using expanded controls. They added the double cross hotbar quite a bit ago. I think a couple years ago back at this point. Some people really like using it. I'm not a huge fan. I just prefer the expanded controls. Again, it's just double tapping and it'll bring it up. And yeah, just like that. Or I can do this and it brings up that. I don't have it enabled, obviously, so I don't particularly like to use that. But if you want to use that, that is also an option available to you. Do whatever is most comfortable for you, and that's just kind of some extra things to kind of get more space out of your cross hotbars without having to cycle through like a bunch of hotbars all at once, which you can do if you're more comfortable with just doing that rather than using expanded or double cross hotbar. Then that's totally up to you. But yeah, I think we kind of covered all of the sort of basic things that I'm sure I'll get questions about. This horizontal hotbar thing is just, I don't know, I guess I get so many questions about this all the time. It's just here for reference. I don't click anything. There's no keys I press or anything like that. So just keep that in mind. That's what that is there for. But actually, I'm gonna go ahead and find, where is this? Display hotbar help. So I'm gonna put on display hotbar help. What this does is, I usually have this turned off, but what this does is if you have it clicked on, it'll show the names of all of the skills and abilities when you actually hold down the button. Obviously I don't need this because I've kind of memorized what all the icons and all the abilities look like at this point. But for reference points, in order for you to kind of see what each skill is, in case you haven't memorized those yet, I'll just have those on for the purposes of this video, and you can kind of copy them down. So we're going to start with Dancer first, because that is what I am hoping to be maining, but I don't know, I'm kind of juggling all of the ranged DPS right now, so and I'm having fun on all three, so yeah, we'll see. I don't know, maybe I'll just play all three, and we'll be good there. But there you go. So Dancer's hotbars are actually very simple, like I said. A lot of it has to do with the fact that there isn't actually a whole lot of buttons to press on Dancer. There's a lot of consolidation with how your single target abilities turn into your dance steps when you press your dances. The fact that this is kind of consolidated like this makes it fitting everything on Dancer really, really nice. So and you kind of see I've kind of mirrored my AoE rotation and kind of with my single target one, so it's basically the same thing, just on the left side. And then again, the only differentiation here is having my interrupt instead of devilment. But yeah, head graze, I always forget what that one's called. But yeah, here we go. We're left side, right side. I think I already showed this, but I'll show it again just in case. And then again, the only thing that's different here is that head grace. This for this third hotbar, I kind of forgot to mention this, but this is mostly just for food, potions, mounts, sometimes signs, or sometimes doing like stances. Like I have dance partner or closed position on this hotbar because you really only need to press it once, and that's it. And then here is expanded hotbar 4. That is what that looks like. Alright, and then we're going to go ahead and hover over this real quick in case you want to see what all of these are. Again, these are just for reference. And since it's a video, you can always feel free to pause it. To pause the video if you need to check things out. One sec. All right, let's move on. Bard's next. Alright, here we go. You notice it's very similar to how my Bard setup was before, and in fact a lot of jobs are going to be like that, just kind of changing minor things, replacing skills and abilities that were gone before. This is also wrong, by the way. Quick knock and apex arrow, I switched where those were, and then here is that. Again, nothing particularly special here, just food and stuff. And then we'll go ahead and hover over these as well. Alright, Machinist next. Machinist hotbars changed a lot, oh boy, because Machinist changed a lot. And I'm having a lot of fun on Machinist, oh boy. Can't wait to do my video on all the range DPS. Second hotbar. Pretty sure the right side is exactly the same, but go ahead and show this as well anyway. And then the expanded controls. And then we'll go ahead and hover over these real quick. So I try my best to kind of maintain consistency within roles. As you kind of see, I try to keep things like Tactician, Troubadour, and Shield Samba, which are extremely similar abilities.